Hi guys, so today I'm going to create the card that you just saw in the little intro there using this Local King rubber stamp set called Flutter. Now this card I'm going to send to Lisa, so she'll have seen it of course, but she's doing something this month. You can go to her channel, I'll have the links in the description box to check her out. As far as that, if you send her a card and she would prefer if you use the Local King stamps, she will send you a card. It's kind of, you know, just a little card swap kind of thing going on. So I thought it was really sweet, really fun, and I wanted to do that, and I was just, you know, waiting to see what kind of card I want to put together. So I will have the link for this set if you're interested. They'll be in the description box. But yeah, so I'm just going to get started. So I'm going to keep this to the side right now. These stamps are really pretty in that they're gorgeous, obviously, the butterflies. But what I think is really cool is that some of these are in groups like this, so you don't have to do each individual butterfly and match up each individual die. You can do, boom, at one, you know, swoop, you got 3 butterflies there. It depends on what you want to do, obviously. So I'm going to put that to the side. So I already began my card because I already have a whole tutorial on how to do this, and it's kind of long, so I don't want to spend this time, you know, doing that. But this is a 5.5 by 8-inch card, folded and scored and folded at 2 inches on either end, so that it makes a gatefold card. And I'm just going to stick these pieces of paper out here, and these were cut from one piece, so I want to see if that matches up. That's good. And these little strips that I cut here are cut at 5 1/4 by 2 1/8, because I like to keep it together in the middle like if it was one piece, so I've only taken 1/8 of an inch off either side. Otherwise it would be 5 1/4 by 2, right? I'm sorry, by 1 3/4. I say 2 1/8. I'm gonna start confusing people. This is 5 1/4 by 1 7/8. Sorry, I don't know what number I even said at the beginning there. So I'm just gonna line this up. If you're not good at matting, make sure to use a liquid glue so you can have that little time to move it around. I'm not like the greatest at matting, but I'm just gonna get to it because I want this to get stuck together here. Oopsie. So yeah, I picked up that set a little while back and I was really wanting to use it, so now I have my chance. I wanted this right at the edge, but oh well. It kind of stuck down, like I told you. If you want some time to move it around, you know, so it did stick right in the middle, but there's a little green in the center there. So, all right, so that's for the outside for now. And then we have our little aperture pieces, and they're ready to go. And again, we stick these, you know what, let me do this somewhere else. And I don't really stick these down completely, and you guys have already talked about that. And again, to line this up, this is 3 inches wide. This is 5.5 inches tall. So if you're looking for the exact center, you have 2.5 inches left over. So that means 1 1/4 inch is kind of where you need to put it. About 1 1/4 inch up or down. Either way, it's going to be the same. So I'm not really sticking it down completely, because what happens is when you start to zhuzh your little card base, it could be that you need this to move a little that way or a little that way. So I don't really stick them down completely, but I try. And then these guys, since I need them to line up at some point here, I like to kind of just eyeball it from here where this needs to go over here. So let me close that up actually. So check this out. This is closed and this is closed. Right? Let's say those are closed. And that looks about good as far as where I have it. Let me just make sure. Then I can take this side over here and give it a little close, and that'll grab it. Again, I didn't push down super hard because I don't know that I want to commit quite yet. Okay, as you can see, one's a little bit off. But again, when you go to bone fold, that's what will work it out. And then I showed you guys how to find your center and, you know, make a template to begin with if you want. But this time I'm going to layer it with this pretty paper. So to do that, I want this to have a bigger circle than this part, right? So I'm going to cut these out together. I'm going to line this up kind of where I think I want it to be. Okay, and this little piece of paper is 5 1/4, because this is, once we fold it, it's 5.5 by 3. So this is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4, sorry. I'm going to tape this down. So again, 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. I'm going to tape that, not really too much. I just don't want it to move, but I want it to cut. So It's gonna have a little tiny opening, okay? So for this aperture, it's gonna be small. I'm gonna look at it this way. I'm gonna cut through here, but let me grab my little dies to do that. So I don't wanna confuse you guys, but what I'm gonna do is take a smaller circle. So this is my 2-inch circle. And this one is the one that goes right inside of that, okay? So I'm just going to place that there. And again, I always like to eyeball, and that's right dead center. I already made my mark. Again, make yourself a template so you don't have to do it every time. Every time, if you just pull out your paper, like if I had this as a template, I would just pop it in there and know that that's where I want it, or use a pencil to trace around that and then say, okay, that's where I want that to cut. So I'm just going to cut this out right quick. That looks about right. And it's going to cut through both pieces of paper, okay? I'm going to run this through my marquee. I'll be right back. Now, I'm going to pop that out. For my little top layer, I'm going to bring this back out from behind. And I just put it in the back just so I could see what I was doing, because this piece of paper is smaller than this green piece, right? And I'm just going to pop that off. Maybe reuse this tape. And I don't need this anymore because we're going to use that in just a minute. But this one, I'm going to take the bigger, the 2-inch circle, and just eyeball it. Obviously you can kind of see how much rim you have here. So like how much do you need, or how much you want to cut away. That looks pretty centered. I'm going to put 2 pieces of tape on this one because I don't want it to move at all. And then I'm just going to run this through the marquee, and I will be right back. Okay. Let's get this out of here. Alright, and that's just the aperture, like just a little topper that I wanted to make for it, so it has a pretty topper on there. And that's how we're going to do that. And then I have this green piece of paper. So this is to center into here, and I cut it. Let me measure this because I always make up numbers and I'm saying the wrong numbers here. This is 3 3/4 by 5 1/4. Before I stick anything else down, I'm going to stick this down really, really well. And I'm just putting this in here again. This other paper wants to pop up and catch me here, but there we go. So we have this. Now I'm going to mat this onto this piece. Trying to get real close to that circle. I don't want it to pop up or away. And this one I'm going to eyeball from the center out so I can see that I have it nice and, I think. Okay. We're almost done with just the base card, and then we're going to work with our stamps. So let me just fold that over. Again, I already have the full tutorial on how to make a card like this. It'll be in the description box, okay? And I'm just going to put glue on either end here. And then we put our little pieces down, and you can still mess with these later, so I'm not concerned if one's overlapped or not, or if they're just like this. That's okay too, however you want. But I'm just going to get this out of the way. Lay that flat, and as you can see, like I'm saying, there's gonna be some wonkiness, but we'll work it out. Right now, what I really care about is if this. So I'm keeping those folded. I'm gonna put this down, and this is 3 inches wide. The width of this opening here is 4 inches. So you just want to make sure you have roughly 1/2 inch on either side from this. So I'm going to start from the bottom actually, and I'm going to pay attention to my grid marks here. So about 1/2 inch there, about 1/2 inch here. That looks good. And then bring it down. And then you can give it a quick test out. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So since that's really good, what I'm going to do is lay this down like this. Actually, I'll turn it over because I like to work from the back. And just get a bone folder and give it a good zhuzh. Just so everything sticks and you know everything's gonna sit where you need it. I didn't really, like I said, I don't really push down hard until I know that everything is like perfectly working, and oh, I love it. Okay, so let me grab some things so we can work on our butterflies. Okay. I think I'm just gonna work with these 2 sets here. There's also this base flower that's also very pretty, but I'm just going to get these guys out, and maybe I'll just work on them at the same time. And I'm going to use stamp positioner because I'm probably just going to use this piece of paper. I wonder if they fit on here together. Huh. I think I might be able to do that. Even with the die, I might have to run the die one at a time, but very interesting. Okay, so let me get a stamp positioner. And this is just a scrap piece of Crafter's Companion stamping paper that I have here. We already discussed this. Nina is better, and it just takes it in better. Oh, you know, it would be nice if I use some of the glossy paper too that we have. So, I mean, obviously stamp it on whatever it is that you like. I just want to see and make sure that I can still keep all these on the same piece, and I think that would be fun to do, but I don't know if I could do it. There's that. Let's turn this one this way a little bit. Okay, if for some reason that doesn't line up, I'll just stamp it again. And I am going to use my markers. I was thinking about busting out the markers that I have, the larger set, because I have both of the sets from Local King, this one and then the other set, but I was wondering, like, I'll probably just stick to this one. But I did want more muted colors instead of more bright colors, but I can probably still get some muted colors from this set, so I will do that. And then one last thing we want to do before I get started is just, I'm going to take an eraser and just erase the rubber here, because that'll just help the water-based marker kind of stick. You don't always have to do this, but since that was a tip Lisa gave, I've been doing it. So I always do that. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go over them just the first time you use them. Like I said, I wanted more muted colors, so I got the turquoise color, the light pink, the light purple, and then black, because we always do that. And I always tell you guys, I never remember if I should start with pink and then purple to blue or blue to, I don't know. So I'm just going to start, but I'm going to start off with that pink. And again, I'm not doing anything special. If you want to make it, you know, a certain way, just pay attention to what you're doing. But I'm going to put the color down from pink, then I guess to purple. And I'm kind of blending them in a way, because obviously I'm going back and forth here in this area. So pretty. That's the purple, it's very light, and then to the lighter blue. And Lisa normally does like a dark of the same color, a light of the same color. And I'm just kind of going for it, but again, I want muted is what I'm going for, so that would be that one. And then I'll color his little body. You can do obviously green and stuff like that, but I'm going to go ahead and go with black just so it pops. And then like put some in this little eyeball area and dot, dot, dot here and there. And then I'm going to do the same for these two guys, kind of. Maybe this one's just blue and the purple. Kind of blend those there. And again, black. And the little dot can be black, black, dot, dot, dot. I'm not going to use this guy, so I'm not worried about that one. And then this little dude, we'll just do pink. Oh, I lost one of my colors. I'm basically coloring the whole body pink. Get some of that blue in there. And my black, that's what I dropped. So cute. And then again, just kind of color that in. And I always give it a huff even though you don't have to, because if you can see they're still wet, but I always come in here and breathe on it. And if this was Nina, I would stamp pretty... Okay, if this was glossy paper, once you push it down, it just looks amazing. Whenever you're working with like a dry, this kind of just regular stamping paper, you're probably going to do it twice. Oh, so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to do it again, and I always just... Basically, I'm going to do the exact same thing again. And I'm not too worried about, oh, did I stop the pink here? Did it the blue there? That part doesn't matter. Just get the color down, and I'll be right back, okay? So again, I'm just going to ink these all up the same kind of manner I just did. Stamping my second little layer. So much more vibrant, really nice. And I can see I missed this little tiny corner, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but I'm going to put a little more blue here and just try it real quick again. Something's in the way. Something is stopping me from doing that. There we go. Alright. Yes, as good as that one's gonna get. Oh, you know what it is? It's my tape. My piece of tape that's there. Alright, let's do it again. Oh, like something is in the way. it's the tape acting as a guard. I think I might be okay if I do it now. Yeah. All right, one more time. I want to make sure that paper was in the right spot. That's why I always push it up to the corner regardless, but that tape was definitely covering it. Okay. All right, so now we're just going to cut it out. I'm going to clean this up again just with a towel, not even a towel with water. Like I wipe it with this or maybe spritz it with some water if you see that there's still some on there. Spritz the towel, wipe this off, and I'll put this stuff away and we'll cut these out. Cut these guys out. Just gonna eyeball it, and I probably will use foam for my marquee to cut it out. I put the foam underneath and cut it so I can get the embossing features pushed up in there. So of course if you have any other machine, you're just going to emboss as normal. So I just eyeball these, and I'm just kind of looking at the body, kind of seeing where that's at. Am I hitting this body here too? And I think that's pretty good. And then I just, well, now I moved it, but then I apply a tape so it doesn't move. And if you want to make an aperture, that would mean just cutting this out with some scrap paper so you can kind of see through it and then see where you're going. And that would be great. So again, I'm just going to line these up, put some tape, run them through my machine with a little piece of craft foam underneath for the marquee, and I will be right back. Okay. So this is kind of what I mean. I just put a piece of foam in the back. Oh, look, everything. They popped out. I might even use this, maybe. It's a little white butterfly, so cute. But, just gonna remove this very gently. So pretty. And then, of course, she has a little something else that moves here. So cute. And then this guy, which I put tape right across his wing, so... So gorgeous. Okay. Let me bring this back, think about how I want to do this, and we'll finish up. So I might still use that little white butterfly too. Whatever sentiment I'm going to put on here, I will do that later. I don't really have one right now to go with it, but I was going to put this here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on either side, but not in his little body part that moves there. Give it a little dimension. Put this guy over here. So that's the front of the card. And then when you open it up, this opens up. And I'm going to put these little cuties in here. And I think I am going to use this little white butterfly silhouette that we ended up with. Just put them in there. But let me see. How do I want to do this? This guy's this way. Maybe this little guy goes that way. Cute. And I'm going to give them the smallest amount of dimension, if anything, because you need the aperture to open and close nicely. You don't want something in its way that's going to catch on. So I may not even put dimension after all. It might just be this. So that is it for today, guys. Really fun, really sweet. I'm going to have him poking out here, just kind of doing his own thing. So like I said, we're going to let this sit so we don't mess up the aperture opening and closing. And I will see you guys at the next one. Again, I can't close it yet until the thing dries. So I'll have some pictures for you guys. Go check out Lisa, see if you want to get into the card swap. I think it's a really sweet thing she's doing, really fun thing she's doing. And see about her designing her new stamps that are coming out, you know, obviously after they go to manufacturing and everything. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you at the next one. Bye now.